What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and installment of the Fight Factory Wrestling Podcast. A very special, these are one of those exclusive shoots when we do it off-brand, off-day.
Yeah, I've never seen this place on a Monday.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird place, but it is Columbus Day after all, I think, right? Or
you're allowed to say that?
Indigenous people.
It's Indigenous People Day.
Okay, whatever. It is that day.
Let's not piss off the masses.
And that's why we have this guy, because he's off of work. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program, Mr. Archadia.
I appreciate you having me and doing it on a day that you normally wouldn't be here.
Right. Well, no, I would be here anyway. I'm here all the time. I practically live here. We're coming to you live from Chop Studios, a.k.a. the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru Studio, right here in Matawan during a solid nor'easter right now. I think it's passing by, though, so it's all good. But we are being brought to you by all of our friends. I usually have the printout. I didn't do the printout today. See, it's a Monday. I'm just like, what am I doing?
Do we even talk what happened on Raw, even though it happened a
Big
few
shout
hours
out
ago?
to the Stand Comedy Club in New York City. Big shout out to our friends. Actually, it's all on the thing. Our good friends at Pray For Us Clothing. 10% off if you use No Thanksgiving at checkout. Check out all their clothing. They're awesome. As I keep looking at all the sponsors. Our friends at the Stunner. Stunner has been doing some incredible work. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run into them this weekend at ACW because they've been covering them just as much as they've been covering us. So little give and
all
take
over
there.
Comic-Con this weekend, too.
Comic-Con was good. Shout out to our friend Seth, who was there with flyers, flyering Comic-Con. I was very excited about that. Homeboy over here flyered the event that I was supposed to flyer, but did you get to meet Mr. Wu or no?
No, they had him in a separate room away from everybody else. So I just got to the line, handed out some flyers.
He went to go to the Ric Flair
thank you.
the Woodbridge Brewery. Should have gave him flyers. You could have dual here, go to this one and then this one. But Dave Sturchow, Tommy Dee, Archadia here in the building. A lot of things coming up for you. I know you are in a completely different realm of this business now. Obviously, we had you at the Sink or Swim Battle Royal. I had the pleasure and honor to book you. I know against these guys' better judgments, they were like, I don't know who this guy is. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Just we're booking him.
Dude, there were so many people there. I'm walking through the locker room like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I felt the same
I
way.
remember Matt from the video from the last time that he was here.
Mm-hmm.
But like half the people that were back there, I'm like, well, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Who's
Well,
that?
there's a lot of new
I think
faces.
I swam a little bit and then
You
also
did swim.
sank.
You were in the Final Four, man. Who books this shit?
I had just enough experience to get me as far as I did, but then the cardio level.
How many people asked to hit the gimmick, the surfboard thingy
That's
thing?
the only thing anyone never knows. I want to do that thing, the thing you do. Yeah, so.
So yeah, but share with the crowd your experience. Like, how did we run a show? Did we do all right? Like, because I don't think I talked to you probably briefly after the show. But our brains are always spinning and things are moving. But you had a good time. You were treated well. All that good shit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in the ring in at that point 2.5, 3 years, and just to be there and the experience. I mean, I often tell a lot of, now that I'm older, a lot of the guys that I talk to about being there is that the worst part now is getting in the ring and actually doing it. But the vibe that you feel, the just being around the group and seeing things moving and the show and the crowd was so into it. Like, it was unbelievable to sit back there and watch the crowd reacting to everything. Jordan and TJ Crawford was unbelievable. I was sitting in the back watching the whole thing. And I think just the vibe itself and how welcoming it was to be there was the thing that stuck out the most to me. Like being in the ring. I mean, that's stuff I've been doing
like riding
for the
a
last,
bike.
25 years I've been in the ring. So it's
Easy
special
part.
to do it. And, the fact that you thought about me and had me there was amazing. But, like, being in the ring isn't the most important part to me now. It's seeing the people that you saw over the years. Eddie Orango from WWE was there.
You ran into Mr. Bandito Jr.
And he was having a great time. That's the stuff that stands out, is the people that you've met along the way that you get to see again, especially with a show like that where so many people that I know were there.
Right. And that's funny because you actually, I don't want to say you put me onto him, but you made me pay closer attention to guys like Jordan Oliver and stuff like that, guys that you've already interacted with. And I'm just like, is he just a GCW deathmatch guy? Like, no. Like, dude, like, I'm very excited. He's on your show. We'll get to your show in a minute. He's coming up to No Thanksgiving as well. He's everywhere. I think he should be everywhere. Everybody who runs wrestling shows should have a guy like Jordan Oliver and a TJ Crawford.
His suplexes are fun to watch.
Dude, he's just fun to watch.
Yeah,
dude.
everything he does is fun to watch because he constantly reinvents what he's doing in the ring. And if you see a Jordan Oliver match, yes, there's going to be things that you see every time he's in the ring, but there's always something new, always something different, and that's what I love about watching him.
He's a true student of the game, and I think that goes far beyond just like doing a bunch of moves. It's like, where can I insert this? How can I tweak this? This will be different than this guy's move, so everything, this isn't a Jordan Oliver tribute show, but I tell you right now, he is one of the guys that I'm very excited to have.
And every chance I get to talk about him, I will.
Not for nothing, it makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? Because come up and the same type of style, I want to say. Stylistically, you guys kind of mimic each other. Your earlier days, his days right now. But
right. Well, his early day when he was 16 is when we met, and he was coming to UWA Elite shows and helping.
Wait, how
out.
old is he now?
He's got a 24, 25.
Yeah, I know.
And to be doing it at that level,
shut up.
I mean, he's already done in 9 years what it took me 25 years to do. So
I mean, he's out on different continents and shit. Like he's doing crazy things
every week.
I know.
Like he's like, oh, I'll get to, I want to film a promo for your show. I want to do that, but just got back. Oh, I just hit the microphone.
It's all good.
I'm not used to this. Like he's I'm in Europe this week, or I'm here this week. And he's putting stuff online. I'm in California, and I'm just like, man, he's just everywhere.
Did that lifestyle ever, like, obviously when you got into wrestling, and we don't want to make this a historic podcast, but sometimes, it lends it to itself.
It's conversational.
Yeah, right? It's like, when you were coming up, was the goal, like, your goals were WWE? Like when you were coming up, or were they just like, I just want to do this, have some fun, and just, like, rock out?
I guess, like, abstractly, I always thought, WWE would be fun to do, but I don't think I ever had the confidence or belief in myself that was truly an option for me. I just don't think I ever felt like that was and it wasn't until I pretty much had stopped and seeing the guys that I had been around on TV that I was like, oh man,
could have. Right.
I mean,
I say that a lot about
anyone could say I could have.
Yeah, but like I say that about guys like you. I say that how many times you hear me say that about like guys like Matt McIntosh, like guys that. Bobby Wayward when he was coming up, guys that just don't know how good you are. You know what I mean? Like you were fucking.
You said
good.
that about Kyle too.
Kyle who? The Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yep.
One of those guys that I'm just like, he doesn't know how good he is. Somebody needs to strap a rocket to his ass and let him go. And you're doing that with Constant Wrestling. UWA has done that for years for this kid. I booked him for the Rumble as well. I wanted to use him in November. There's just so many moving parts.
He was the first GCW champion ever.
Shut up.
What?
KTB was the first GCW champion.
Wow. Well, you know what? You learn something new every day here on the Fight Factory podcast. I did not know that at all. So if you go to cagematchwrestling.net or whatever the hell it is, I'm sure it'll say it there, and there's proof in the pudding. But yeah, Kyle's another one of those guys that just don't really realize. And I don't know where that comes from. Same thing with you. I don't know if you didn't have enough rah-rah people in your corner or whatever the case may be. Or maybe you had a lot of people like, fucking wrestling, dude? Really? That's the route you're going?
Yeah.
Like my father. Like when I was like, Dad, guess what? There's a school opening up. And I met this dude on the train and he said, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's great. Go pack that and send it the shipping over to FedEx.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, wait, you don't understand. Like, I'm really going to join a school.
But now ask a parent that and they're probably like, go.
Well, now they see
with the NIL deals and all this
grand
other
scale
stuff.
of everything. And just,
I guess it's definitely the childhood trauma that held us back.
It really is, dude. It really absolutely is. But so now look, I think you have a very storied career. You have, Jersey All-Pro. You have everything you've done for UWA Elite. You have pretty much everywhere you've been. You had goals. Eventually, Father Time starts to catch up to you, just like it did for me, just like it did for everybody else in the industry. Some people are just fucking unicorns and they can just go until, look at half the guys on the roster. They're 45, 50 years old. Yeah, him too. Like, what is he, 60?
44.
Yeah, and he's doing his thing at a high level.
Azrael?
Azrael.
Oh.
Yeah. He's doing things at a high level, right? And I'm just like, damn, Moff. Like, Moff is still putting together 5-star matches.
I don't think anyone even knows.
Like real.
I don't think anyone even knows how old Moff is.
I don't think it's
always
been discussed. I think he's closer to the 5 than anybody else.
He's just always been around.
Right.
If you cut him in half, you got to count the rings like a tree. That's how you know how old Moff actually really is.
It's really funny. So obviously the time catches up to you. When did you, because I know, and Tommy knows obviously the story of how me and Payne finally decided to say, you know what, the fucking hell with it, we're going to open up our own shop. There's reasons behind that. Some I've disclosed, some I've not.
For me, this was my only way into the wrestling business.
Yes, for me, I had to let this mark just kind of come along for the ride. This is all your fault, actually, because you called me that casual Dave and along for the ride Rob and all these little nicknames.
Said I could probably book better than Tony Khan too.
Yeah,
so.
well, that's another whole story. You don't know Molotov cocktails today to throw?
No.
All right. So, wrestling, anyone? At what point did you say? Because remember, when you created Constant, that first you were doing the Quest thing first. Me and you worked a little bit on the Quest thing. You went through with it. Did you crown a champion?
We did. Anthony Gangone.
Gangone, right. So he won the Quest title thing. And then, but that was going to be a one-off. I know that there was a lot of plans that went into that. So like, where was your head going into that? And did you have aspirations to say, I want to go even farther with all this?
I think as far back as probably 2015, 2016, when I felt my body starting to be like, all right, I don't know if I can keep doing this for a very long time. I started to try to listen in on conversations because, I mean, that's how I learned how to wrestle anyway. You know, being in the JAP locker room and just listening to other people talk that did it well, I would just listen to them, and then that's how I began calling everything that I was doing. Same thing kind of with promoting. Anytime I was on any show, I would kind of just listen and hear the things that people were saying, and I started to feel more and more comfortable about what I could possibly bring to it, and that's how. So I'd say like 2015, 2016, I started thinking about, you know, eventually I'm going to want to do my own thing. And I know everyone probably feels this way, but I definitely feel like I have a different outlook or a different vision or a different view on pro wrestling than other people do. You know, I'm not in it.
Well, explain that then. Like, what's different between you and then the common?
I don't think that I'm in it just like I wasn't in wrestling as a business as much as I wanted to create something that I felt like I believed in. It's not about money for me. It's not about, you know, trying to profit off of the things that I'm doing. And it's more about trying to put something that when I watch it back, I believe in it. And I believe that it's my brand of things that I wanted to, it's the people I believe in. It's the stories I believe in. And that's more important to me. I wouldn't, you know, throw someone on my show just because they're going to move tickets or they're going to do this. And I think that that's a huge part of what the wrestling business is and always has been built on. But I guess coming from UWA and the kind of brand that UWA Elite has created, when it's more about like, hey, it's for us and I hope other people enjoy it. I've always been a believer in the art form of wrestling being, it's what I want to create and hopefully someone likes it, as opposed to I hope I'm going to wrestle a certain way that the crowd I know will like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's more about, for me, my brand of art.
Well, I've always looked at UWA Elite as the little engine that could. Specifically, when I first met you, there were a lot of the same guys that I'm seeing today that are still there. It's always felt like a tight-knit group. It's always felt like, you know, it was just run like a brotherhood and a friendship rather than a business. And maybe I'm right with that, or maybe I'm wrong with that, but I know the previous owner was doing his thing and then eventually had to be kind of like, you guys were about to shut the doors too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if not for Fierro coming into the rescue and saying like, yeah, I'll take you guys under. I don't know what the exchange is. I don't know if it's a handshake deal. I have no idea.
I have not been involved with a lot of like backstage behind the scenes stuff in UWA for a very long time. When I speak about UWA, it's more about the wrestlers themselves than it is about the people that run UWA.
So, all right. So now, all right, you have your first show.
Yep.
The one that was at Sayreville High School? Yes, and I was there.
July
I got to check it out.
Last year. So July of 24.
July of 24. So was this before or after? We had the War on the Shore already.
It was the same week. It was you were Tuesday and I was the following Saturday.
Is that the one that said Homicide was there?
Yes.
Was that one?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And B-Boy. No, I'm kidding.
I wish. I tried.
I know. That story forever will be ingrained in my head. Trust me, I know.
That's how we got Homicide, though, right?
I got Homicide because of him. Yeah. So for the knuckle brawl that all 17 people saw. Such a failure of a show. But
it was at least 18.
All right. But I look back at that show and I understand it's a sold show. So financially, yeah, we won. But like, it's optics, you know, and I'm telling all my photographers like tight shots only, guys, tight shots only.
Yeah, but it's the same thing I said. Yeah, it's not just about. So you said like you were already paid. Like it's not, you're not losing money from it, but it's a standpoint. Your name is on it. right? And I don't know if you know who Jay Moore is, right? The comedian.
Yeah.
So he has a podcast and he always plays this thing and says this thing, well, put your name on it, right? Well, if you're going to do something, you want to put your name on it. So it's not just about the money. It's about my name is attached to something and I want to be proud of what I do.
And that's why I always call it an L as a show. When somebody's like, well, but you made money. It's like, nah, man, you don't understand. Like, we had a great card that day and it's just like a great top to bottom card booked. And it just wasn't marketed correctly. Not on our part. Not even just that, part of us, part of them, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's also other people's version of success, right?
Fair.
What is your success? Like you were brought in to do a show, you did that show, and it was great from top to bottom. So they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. That's not an L on your side. That's an L.
I just think it's an optics thing. So if somebody walked into that building and saw a wrestling show happening, and nobody is in the actual seats, it's all floor seating only. Nobody's sitting.
Change the timestamp of said it was COVID era.
Yeah, there you go. Like, no, it's 2020. Everybody had to be 6 feet apart. It was weird.
So my thinking is, okay, so there wasn't there, but we put out a card that was good enough that people watched it online and were like, fuck, maybe I should have went to that show because that looked like it would have been really cool.
And
live.
that's a testament to the product itself. So you have this first show. You have talent booked on this show. The Jay Lethals of the world.
Yep.
You had Speedball out there. Some of the matches
right before Speedball really took off. And
I know.
The timing of our show couldn't have been more perfect to get a guy like Speedball because to have an indie show.
Now he's got those AEW prices.
I know. Well, to have an indie show where arguably two of the guys on the roster have been in the conversation for best in the world at some point in the last 10 years. I mean, that to me was amazing.
And you said it yourself. It's more about your creation, what your version of success was. And like I said, top to bottom, I was there for pretty much 80% of it. And I was like, you know what? He did it. He did it. He had the Tron. He had the entranceway. He had the ring. Red canvas, by the way. Definitely different. Different than anything I've ever seen. But you have
Red's better than blue.
I know. He's so not obsessed with the SmackDown mat. He hates everything about it. I mean, it's different. The blue mat has always been there. It's just a different shade of blue now.
It is.
It's awful.
Yeah, but whatever. So you have that first show. It is a success. I don't want to get into the financials. I'm sure it was at some point because like I said, the stands were packed.
Yeah.
Floor seating was packed. Everything was packed. So you have that first show. After that first show, were you able to at least sit back and embrace, or were you like me, like after the first War on the Shore, I was like, what's next?
No. It definitely took us time to even breathe in what had just happened. And again, I think the goal is obviously to have as many shows as possible, but again, it's with like the right circumstances, the right people. I want to make sure all the things are going the right way. So, and plus, like I've never been able to, I guess it's, again, maybe it's childhood trauma, maybe it's ADHD, but I've never been able to focus in on one area of my life and put 100% into that. So, like things that I got going on in my personal life.
They have ADHD.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And so, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
you just play one on TV.
I'm pretty sure 99.9% of the population of the world all has ADD or ADHD at some point.
But like part of the diagnosis of that is also being hyper focused on what you want to do and giving zero time to anything you don't want to do. So
see, that's being wired different. What he's talking about,
right? So that's like three things in my life that I am wired to want to do to 100%. Wrestling has always been one of them. And there are two other things in my life that I dedicate a lot of time to. And those two had kind of taken more time away from what I wanted to do with wrestling. So I sat back and tried to pick the right moment to come back. And I have a partner, TJ Blade is what he wrestles as, but
I did not know he was your partner in this.
Yeah. So
I thought this was just a one-man band here.
No, me and
that's great.
I mean, it started as...
That's why you let me in. I was like, how are you letting me in? Where's Matt?
So he has... I consider it a partnership because it's just he's always the guy that I'm talking to. I think he would argue that it's not 50-50, that he gives what he can, but it's mostly what I've tried to do. I think with this one, he's done way more than he did for the first one, because I think the success of it convinced him that we were going to be able to do it and do it well. So that's where we're at.
This is show number 2, correct?
Show number 2.
Two. Yes. Okay. I'm making sure I didn't miss one.
If you look,
Well, I mean, if you consider the quest to be like technically one,
I feel like that was like the pilot, to really launch everything.
Yeah.
And I think that was your first dip the toe in, see how this is.
and we were mooching off of other shows to kind of get everything in.
And you know what? We did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
We went to ISPW. It was like, hey, can we get 2 matches on your next card just to show what we can do or who the talent we could bring? We got to pay for them, but it is what it is.
Same with
technically
us,
it was
yeah.
one match.
We've Chris Benoit that first ladies match. We were just like, no, I don't even know what the fuck are you talking about.
Such a shame. Frost drives all the way from Pittsburgh for a match that
Listen,
never
she
be
got
seen.
paid and she stayed at a hotel.
I had to find
Everything was
dude.
fine.
I had to find her fucking contact in the ring.
That's right. She lost the contact. Anyway, so
I have one of those as well.
a contact.
No. A match that has never been seen, and it was with 2 guys that you mentioned as that they don't think they're as good as they really are.
Yeah, well, yes, because
KTB
he just
versus McIntosh
quit, right? Or he just left the business.
Yeah.
So what kind of? It would be silly if you continued that story if he had no longer wanted to be.
But I
in it.
have a filmed match, KTB versus McIntosh, that
Lost
has
Files.
never seen.
You have it.
I do.
It's probably really good.
It is very good.
Yeah, so we gotta get that exclusively right here on this YouTube channel, which you can find. Subscribe right now, MyFandom's YouTube channel. We will find that footage and we will get it up there. So look, you have this first successful show. You got TJ working alongside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your preparations for show 2. Knowing now, look. By the way, anybody seeing this right now on a Monday night, this show is going down on Saturday night in Woodbridge. So that's our hometown. We should be able, should be able to pack the place now. Where are you falling in your mind? What are the ones? What's the trepidations right now? What are you going through right now as you get into this show? Because look, it's hard to duplicate what you just did when you had that first show. Now you're literally a year and a half removed from that first show.
So any momentum
Is gone.
gone.
So now it's basically brand new. And we said to pulling back the curtain, we said on the text, no Jay Lethal this time, no Speedball this time. How are things going? Where do you find a couple of avenues where you're just like, this could be better, or like what's your mindset heading into this one?
So my goal has always been to book the people that I believe in, right? And Jay has always been one of those guys. He slept on my couch for years. He came to my family Christmases for many of years. So the only person that was on that show at all that isn't someone that I consider a friend that I don't just text on a regular basis is Speedball Mike Bailey. And he was the one that we were kind of like, well, we need one more. And that was a reaction to Jordan's injury. We need someone to replace the fact that Jordan is going to have a heck of a match on our show. So who are we going to go get? And I have a bunch of guys that I graduated high school with that are huge wrestling fans. So we were all texting together and I'm saying, hey, like, what do you think? And they said, well, what about Speedball? And we just went out and got him. And he was like,
We
yeah,
had
sure.
that same conversation because Payne had mentioned Speedball when Oliver went down.
Right. And you want to talk about, look, Speedball right now,
Right.
there's not many people that could touch his skill set.
But he was, home base in Philly.
Right.
Friends
So
with.
it wasn't a flight. It wasn't a hotel.
And he, trains students, and a lot of the guys.
Where's he train at?
It's somewhere in Philly.
So he's
I'm
not a
sure.
Monster Factory guy.
And I don't think I don't know if it's an official school.
Oh, okay. So he just pops in, trains.
Right.
A couple guys.
And it's Jordan, and it's Pat Dynamite, and it's Griffin, and it's Charlie Tiger, and it's Junie Underwood. All these.
Charlie
guys.
Tiger was at our first show too.
Sure.
He came with Genoa.
Oh, yes. Absolutely was.
He helped with ring crew.
Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, so he fit a lot of the or checked a lot of the boxes that we wanted to. I didn't want to put anyone on the show that was just a professional that I was going out to hire. And it was more like, all right, well, do you have some sort of connection to what we're doing, whether it's through friendships or people that we're working with already? And the answer was yes. And the fact that I knew that if I got him in to wrestle someone that he was closely friendship related to, that it would be easier to get him to. And him and Pat Dynamite have a relationship.
Great match.
Yeah.
Great match.
And it was great. And Pat, was nervous. I remember him showing up. He was pale. So there's only one day that I ever looked like that, and that was when I wrestled Loki. And going in.
Well, you actually fear for your life when you wrestle Loki.
did.
Oh, you poor man.
Loki might kill you.
You poor man.
Yeah, and people were after the match like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, I guess I sell very well because, yeah, I mean, I got beat up, but it wasn't anything too crazy. But I remember feeling that, stomach, because you want to perform well, but also this guy's got a reputation. And I think Speedball is very similar to, and I don't know if he would want to be
Stiff?
Compared to that, but I'm saying in terms of to do what the kids say, aura. In terms of aura, like Speedball has that aura. When he walks into a locker room, people just automatically respect him for what he does.
Right.
And like I said, he's at one point and even currently could be considered, one of the best performers in the world.
Yeah, and it's hard to argue, right? I'm not about to sit there and be like, well, I know a bunch of guys better. Like, it's hard to argue.
I think at one point you did ask me, so where does it translate now to today?
To this
and
one
show,
coming up, and we've all seen the flyers. You follow social medias. People have seen the guys you booked, and it seems like and this is no disrespect whatsoever, but it seems like very similar to the last one, where it's like guys that guys that you've wrestled with, guys that you've worked alongside. Not so much favors being done for anybody because these guys have all, worked their asses off to get there, but their names and their appeals may not be the ones to move that needle per se. When it comes to tickets, it's a business after all, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, there's nobody, and you can ask Tommy, ask Payne, ask anybody involved in our business. We would love nothing more than to just use guys that are on the upcoming or train guys from scratch. That's what I want. That's the ultimate goal. However, you want to make money in this business.
Yep.
It is very hard to say like, all right, we'll just build a show around Tommy Dee. Right? And we're like, hey, you know what? Tommy's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm the main guy in the poster. But like, I'm not paying to see this fucking guy wrestle. You know what I mean? So
I probably would.
I probably would too at the end of the day. In fact, you're booked.
So I wish
Yeah.
I wish I had a Jonah Hill to point at when you ask that question.
Analytics, like
Because he gets on base. That's why. Because you get people in the door, and once they're in the door, when they see what's going on in the ring, they're gonna have fun, they're gonna enjoy it, and they're gonna come back. And the people that I book may not move the needle in terms of, merchandising, marketing, yeah. But if you get them in the door and they see it, they're gonna love it. Because there's no one in this world that's gonna tell me that if you go and see Jordan Oliver versus Drake Chambers on Saturday, you will not be blown away by the type of match that you're going to see. Because you might not know who Drake Chambers is. But when you see him in the ring and see what he's going to do with Jordan, it's impossible to not be impressed by what you're going to see.
And I guess that's where you run into that wall or that fine line between business and art.
Yeah.
Because what you have booked, and everybody can see it, like I said, follow Constant Wrestling on all the socials. What you have booked seems to me that if I was sitting in the crowd, there's no dead space. There's no matches where I'm like, nah, all right. You know what I mean? Like there's good fucking matches that are on your card. But it's like for me, who I know these people.
Right.
If you go to Woodbridge Middle School and you're trying to market this thing,
right.
And you're like, here, come see Brandon the Bull. And come see Corey Dillinger. And come see all these guys that I know that can go. But like they're like, who the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, so where's that line?
I think that's a fair point.
And that's, again, no disrespect. I like those kids.
No. Again, it's marketing. It's a business, right? So again, I think that is fair to ask that question of like, well, what? And I think my job is to get people in the room to see that happen, and to see the minds get changed, and to see, oh wow, and I guess Speedball and Jay were the draw to bring them in, so you could see a Kwesi Asante, you could see a Griffin McCoy wrestle in a spot where
Asante's another one, man.
He's unbelievable.
He's fucking crazy,
right? But that's the thing is that, and maybe childhood trauma. Maybe it is that I felt like I was an undiscovered, underused, underrated, and kind of performer, where now I'm trying to find someone or
trying to find you,
trying to find me, and I'm trying to give them their b-boy match moment, right? So last show it was Kwesi versus Charles Mason.
Mason's a stud,
established on every show as he's going to deliver, and Kwesi is a guy that everyone was, who is this guy that you're putting with Charles Mason? And I think I don't know if I told you this the last time I was here, but Kwesi Asante is a guy that I saw for 13 seconds in a 8-man tag at Jeff Cannonball's Dropkick Depression show, and immediately was drawn to him and his character and what he could do. And I said, I need this guy on my show. So I reached out, boom, he's on. And he was supposed to be in the JAP Rumble. KTB pulled off because it was supposed to be KTB versus Mason. And I said, I'm going to give this kid a shot, put him in. And it was lights out.
So now, yeah. So, and like I said, to all the common fans who look at these posters that you're putting out there and you're just like doing the whole, like, I don't know any of these guys. You know what I mean? And that's a harsh truth. But at the same time, your job as a promoter is just like, look, just give it a shot. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not outpricing anybody. You know what I mean? You're not sitting there like, yeah, for $75 you can sit in the front row. Not like us. No. So, have to do that shit to make the fucking.
So there's the other side to that coin. As I was noticing when we were coming up on War on the Shore 2,
yep.
I was in the gym and
liar.
Yeah, there's the guy wearing a GCW shirt. So I walked up and was like, hey, you're a wrestling fan.
Hey, you're slow? No.
Like, you're a wrestling fan. So,
hurtful.
Hey, I was like, we got Joey Janela. He's like, yeah, he goes, I've seen those guys about 1 million times.
Yeah.
I live up north. He's like, thank you, but I've seen those guys enough. So that's like another thing that it seems like you find where
oversaturation.
And it's definitely, and how is it not going to be oversaturated, right? They're local guys. You're going to want to bring them in because
25 years ago, wrestling was oversaturated here, and now it's even worse.
And as a pro, you enjoy watching them. You know they could put on a good show, and you know they're going to sell tickets. But if somebody that's seen them 75 times, like, okay, well, I'm going to go see them at Hammerstein Ballroom when it's a bigger show.
Right.
I'm not going to go to this show to see them. Like, it's such a weird, like, for me being an outsider, it's such a very weird fucking dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, and
really
it's you have to find hidden gems. You have to find a dynamic that fans have never, like a GCW fan, like, what's their draw to come to my show? All right, well, who's this guy Drake Chambers, and why is Jordan being put against him, and why is it being pushed so hard? And who is this Kwesi Asante, and why is he being pushed so hard? And we do have the match for the JAP faithful where it's Azrael and Eddie Thomas, and Eddie Thomas is a guy that hasn't done anything really in wrestling, but has been around for 25 years and was at that beginning moment with Jay Lethal, with Azrael, and he was there with them. He helped train Jay when Jay was starting. He's just never been put in a big moment, or never had the opportunity to be put in a big moment, or personal life things have gotten in the way. He had kids at a young age and stepped away from wrestling, came back and just kept himself in kind of a bubble and didn't really get out there and do much. And maybe it was a confidence thing, and maybe it was just a lack of being booked elsewhere. But he's always dreamed of a moment like this, and I'm in the position to be able to give someone the opportunity to not only have a match they've always wanted, but like a match that they're going to succeed in. And that's where I feel like my place has become in this wrestling business is put people in positions where either it's like a put up or shut up moment, or it's like no one knows about this person and they should know about them, so let's give them an opportunity to show people what they're made of.
And that's absolutely a badge of honor that you can carry if you're the one that puts somebody on the map. You know what I mean? Like, something you can at least pat yourself on the back, like, all right, did good for somebody. And that's honestly the name of the game, and that's a lot of the opportunities that we've I don't want to say given out, because I don't like when things are given, but you know what I mean? Like the people that we've booked on our shows, yes, there's a significant amount of names, and again, that costs a fucking arm and a leg, and that's the part that sucks. However, when you get a guy like a TJ Crawford, or you get a guy like a Casey Navarro, like all these guys that may not have gotten their breaks yet. Casey, a little different story right now. He's TNA, now he's hurt, but again, the kid carries himself like he's as rich as Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but he's not, Casey, so give it the fuck up.
Yeah, and he's this year's Jordan Oliver for us. He was already booked on our show.
Was he?
And said, hey, keep it quiet. Like, I'm hurt.
Same thing happened to us.
Yep. War on the Shore 2.
He was supposed to be out there, had to fucking pull off. It sucks. Injuries suck. It ain't ballet. Everybody should really realize that eventually.
But, at least he came. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Came
and I'm
and
sure
hung
he'll be
out.
at the next one too. You know,
Because Woodbridge
know?
is his hometown too.
Yeah, he's a
being,
Rahway kid.
Yeah, so being in that area and being around that would have been perfect for him and for
Did
us.
you invite him to at least show
Yes,
up?
yes.
Is he coming?
I don't
So
know.
where in Woodbridge
get
is
him
this going
over
to be?
So we are at the First Presbyterian Church in Avenel.
I know it well. I lived right up the street.
Technically Woodbridge.
I
because
lived
everything
in
that area is
Barron's
Woodbridge.
Gate.
Yep.
He's
so,
lying. He lived in a trailer park a little bit farther down the street.
I got a great view of it past the train tracks from my room.
Yeah, and it's a building that has gotten some use. It's obviously not the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, but it has wrestling shows pretty much monthly at this point.
Pretty sure Hulk Hogan's wrestled at the Mecca before he passed away.
Everyone has been through there so far.
We're trying. We're actually trying.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. No breaking news to the rest of the audience, but yeah, it's under new management, so it's a lot of. It's actually starting to sift the shit out because the price is not as low as it used to be.
Right.
So I think it's a good idea. But anyway, so it's a good location for you.
Yep.
You booked a lot of the guys you trust. Are you running into any other pitfalls heading into this show? Like I know we're trying to preach the positivity.
I think ticket sales are lower than I expected them to be, but again, without Jay Lethal, without Speedball Mike Bailey, without Charles Mason, you're not going to. I think you said it. You're not going to move the needle. My only hope is that people who do know me through wrestling or know some of the guys on the show would respect or at least put their faith in the fact that the show is going to be something that we're going to be proud of.
And that's at the end of the day. That's really what it's all about. Like I feel like you and I have, I want to say similar, but yet very different mindsets of this thing. Like we both want to enjoy this shit. And we both want to make sure that we're putting our stamp in a different way. If I was an in-ring wrestler for a couple of years, I stunk at that, right? And then I get in the commentary. I was pretty damn good at that, but then that was only going to take me so far. So what's next, right? So that's kind of where you're at, where you're like, I've done all the shit that I can do in the ring. What's next? So I ask you that. What's next after this? Regardless of result and tickets and whatever else pans out with the show, do you have something in the works ready to rock and roll for the next one?
There's definitely not anything in the works, but we're crowning a champion. So I mean, I wouldn't.
I've seen the belt.
I would not.
Full disclosure, beautiful.
I would not crown a champion if I didn't feel like there wasn't some legs to continue moving forward. What's
the title match?
So it's a 4-way.
Okay.
It is Griffin McCoy, who was in the main event last year with Jay Lethal. It is Anthony Gangone, who is a Northeast staple. The things that he has, and I don't know if it's saying quietly is the right word, but the fact that people don't hold him in a higher regard, knowing what he has done and the match. If you go on YouTube and you put in Anthony Gangone and you watch his House of Glory stuff, where he wrestled Cody Rhodes when he was on the Indies, he wrestled Ricochet, all matches for the House of Glory Championship. Like he is just hands down top tier performer.
I wonder
in
what
this area.
the holdup is on him.
I don't know. I
He
think
might fall in the same bracket as you and McIntosh and guys like that. He doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know he's that good.
No, I think. I mean, he's undersized in terms of like he's not a 6'3" guy. He's not 6'2".
Is that even really a thing anymore?
It is in certain areas. Like Santana is huge. He's 6'1", 6'2", and like that's still screams superstar. That size does mean a little bit. And I don't know. Wrestling business is weird. What one person can do and have success doing, the same person or a different person could do the same exact thing and just not have success.
There are plenty of people that are just above the moon about certain people, and I've literally just come out and said, doesn't really do it for me. You know what I mean? Like he might fall into that category for a lot of people. I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean,
I've seen him work. He's
politics is a huge part of professional wrestling, and if you
Huge.
don't have the right friends, you're not gonna. There are guys with half the talent of Anthony Gangone, or even a fingernail's worth of talent of Anthony Gangone that have been on TV, and he hasn't.
God, I'm so glad Payne's not here for that comment. Holy shit. Woo!
He's driving in his car right now. He's like, what the fuck did he just say? Wow.
But so it's Gangone, it's Griffin McCoy, KTB, GCW the first GCW champion,
which is again news to me, which is great.
Yeah, and his first feud was with Tremont, and then he went to Philly and wrestled Masada, and
But the problem is early GCW days had a bad rap. You know what I mean? Like a bad rap.
Well, it was JCW.
Yes, and then it turned.
And GCW grew out of that, and then that's when they became GCW. And the name is Game Changer Wrestling because they were in Game Changer World in Howell.
Right.
That's where they were like located. So that's where the name. I was on the first GCW show ever.
Were you really?
Yeah, I wrestled Matt McIntosh on the first
that?
GCW show ever. We opened the show. I might have been the first GCW match ever.
That must have been like that's a match I would book today.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to do a best of 5 series, and then it just never happened.
Yeah.
So
that's your title match.
And then Kwesi Asante is the fourth.
Okay.
So we have a good mix of established, different personalities, different styles, and that's what we're going with. Those are the
How
four
many
guys
matches you got booked on this thing?
We have 7 total matches.
Good.
Yes.
I think that's the sweet spot. I really do. 7. We have 8 in Sayreville because we had another women's match. But like, I think that's the sweet spot because these like I showed up at Wrestle Pro last time to do the commentary. And I went to the board and I was like, I'm sorry, does it say 11? Like, and it starts at 8?
Yeah.
I was like, what time am I getting home tomorrow? Like, so that's a good sweet spot to have. Plug anything you need to plug as far as the rundown off the top of your head as far as guys. I know you already mentioned Jordan Oliver.
Yep.
You have you're crowning a champion. It goes down in Woodbridge / Avenel. Saturday night. Again, I wish I can go there. Obviously, if I didn't have prior obligations with ACW, which aren't any competition to you guys because you guys are about 2.5 hours away from each other, so you're good. I don't think GCW is running because I said to you, I think if you have Jordan Oliver, I don't think GCW is even running, so that's good.
I mean, there's not much to plug other than I would just hope that anyone who is watching this that trusts you or, trust either of you guys and trust the brand that you have and trust anything that I've done in this business would have faith in the fact that if I believe in it, it's going to be, worth seeing.
And I think people just need to take that risk. I think that instead of thinking, well, there's no TNA guy, there's no AEW guy, there's no NWA guy, there's none of that. Like instead of thinking that and that mindset, I think people have to look at independent wrestling as such. It's independent wrestling. These are the guys that want to be at these shows. They want to be at the next level. And the only way they're going to get there is if they get reps on shows like yours, on reps like shows like ours, shit like that. You could build new stars. And I think, like I said, go to the Constant Wrestling social media. You see all the match graphics there. Start following some of these guys. Start looking up their matches on YouTube, like you said, for the unsung guys, the guys that just don't get enough burn from everybody else. Because I've always held your opinion in high regard, even though, like I said, Tommy and Payne had to fight me. They're like, I don't know who Archadia is. Why do you really want to book this guy? I'm like, guys, you don't understand. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the people. No. Well, I mean, I was nowhere near anyone in wrestling, but the people that do know me, and I think that is kind of like what I've always hung my hat on, is that it's always been a wrestler's wrestler, or like if I was your favorite, like you were all in on me. Like that's the kind of fan base I had, is that there are people that I think probably around conversations in wrestling were like nudging, like, how do you not like this guy? Like that's kind of always been my thing. And I think that I've kind of leaned into it now, and I know that people who believe in me and have faith in me will believe and have faith in my
and you
product
wouldn't, and just knowing your history, knowing that the people that you do know, you wouldn't book shit.
Yeah,
you wouldn't book shit. It's just the way it is. If you can go and you're a friend of his and you have a storied past with you in some regard, whether you've faced him in the ring or you've booked him on the same show or you wrestled or whatever, I think it's a testament to what you're about to bring on Saturday night. So very excited for you. Very excited for your future, for Constant Wrestling. They're crowning a champion this Saturday night. Be sure to check out the tickets. How can they get tickets right now?
They can get tickets by going to any of our social medias. So it's constant_wrestling at Instagram. You can also go to tinyurl.com/constant1018, which is just the date, our name and the date, or any of our socials have the link up.
How are you selling tickets?
How are we?
Through who?
Ticket Leap.
Interesting. I just need to know how to.
I mean, you could probably get them at the door too, no?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm just curious to know what's.
Listen, we had a discussion about being the older generation and things kind of growing past us, but old school cash is always accepted.
Cash is
because there's no fees.
There is no fees,
dude. Some of the fees are probably more.
Sons of bitches.
The fees at Starland are probably more than some of your tickets total.
It's probably
the fees itself.
That's why I don't go anywhere anymore.
It's wild. We've had this discussion internally. We wanted to be that brand to put the shows on the places that you're just afraid to go to.
Yep.
The beach, the ballpark, now the fucking Starland Ballroom. But you know what? Full transparency, hard to make money when those places cost $1.50 just to be there. So what you're doing is kind of what I think we might start doing. You know what I mean? Like try to build these stars from within, do it at the smaller venues, and then get your ass to the war in the short three.
You're not
stuff
going
like
to
that.
pack. You're not going to always pack it. You know what I mean? It was great what we did with the beach. Okay, I know you consider Knuckle Brawl a flop. We've been to some shows where there's some really good names on there, and there's like 30 people.
Yeah, I'd say it really depends on the weather. It's just so
There's so many variables.
It
with
really is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking to make money, you're gonna have to run repetitive show, like a couple of shows a month. Or maybe,
Yeah.
If you're
Name of
just
the game.
looking to book people and enjoy like you're
Put
doing,
my art in the world.
you know what I mean?
Are you filming
There's no
this?
way you lose.
Yeah, so we do have a production crew coming in, same production crew that was on our last show. So it's going to be the same vibe, right? House lights off, spotlights on the ring. It's what I believe.
Those guys
in.
over at Titan?
Yep.
Billy
So
and them?
yep. So we have a partnership with Titan Enterprises. They have their own production crew that they have. It's ring rental. It's pretty much everything that you would need. It's like a kit. It's like run a pro wrestling show kit. And Charlie's great. He was on. I don't know if you were happened to catch anything that the Jeff Cannonball
Oh, is
show,
that who ran
Cannonball
that?
Fest. So he was the production behind it.
Oh, cool.
Everyone
not know
kind of
that.
just gave in everything they had to that.
That was a great show.
Oh yeah,
You have to for him.
Yeah, of course.
You definitely have to
A
for him.
gem of a human being, and obviously our prayers and everything. You know,
I'm
just
glad I got to
keep-
see him wrestle
Yeah.
before he had gotten sick.
Yeah, it's great. So, in any event, Matt, Arcadia, it's been a pleasure having you back here at the studio. Best of luck this Saturday. Kick ass. And like you said, like he's been telling you, like I've been telling you, go check the show out. You got 5 days to go buy some tickets or buy tickets at the door. It goes down Saturday night. It's a Saturday night, guys. It's in the fall. Now you're
Saturday
looking.
night, you're wrestling fans. You
now
don't have
you're
anything else to do.
Now you're looking for shit to do. You got something to do.
Tape collision. Nobody watches it live anyway.
I don't think anybody watches the tape that you. That's just me. I digress. For Dave Sturcio, Tommy Dee, Arcadia, go check out Constant Wrestling, and of course follow him on social media and everything that they got going on. Till next time, we got Steve Gipke coming to our studio on Wednesday. In 2 days. I know, we're just going to keep going. And then Tommy Tequila just had Ken Dixon. So we got a lot of content
Did he,
coming. I mean, halfway, I guess. We'll talk more about that as we get closer. Take care, guys.